You have been feeling that something big is about to happen in your life. That tightness in your chest that won't go away no matter how deep a breath you take. That anxiety for no apparent reason that appears in the middle of the day, out of nowhere, in the middle of work, in the middle of lunch. Sleep that vanishes exactly at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you wake up staring at the ceiling, feeling like someone is there, wanting to tell you something. You think you're going crazy. You think it's stress, that it's work, that it's the monthly bills. But deep down in the depths of your soul, you know it's something else. God is trying to speak to you. And today, in this video, I am going to reveal to you exactly what He is saying, what is going to happen to your life in the coming weeks, and why everything you've lived through until now was just preparation for what comes next. If you are over 35 years old and feeling this restlessness in your chest while you listen to me, this video was placed in front of you for a reason. Do not turn it off. Do not switch tabs. I'm going to tell you the first sign now, and it alone will give you chills. There are 7 clear signs that God is preparing you for something big, and the first of them is the sudden awakening at 3 o'clock in the morning. You might go to bed early, you might be exhausted, you might even take sleep medication, but at that specific time sleep evaporates. The ancients call this the holy hour. It is the moment when the veil between the spiritual world and the material world becomes thinner, more transparent. When this begins to repeat night after night in your life, understand it's not insomnia, it's a summons. The second sign is crying that comes for no reason. You're driving home from work, you hear a random song on the radio, you see a silly commercial on television. You remember an old scene from when you were a child, and out of nowhere you start to cry. It's that crying that rises from the chest, crosses the throat, and simply cannot be held back. This isn't depression. This is your soul preparing for a change. The tears are washing the path. The third sign is the sudden distancing of people. Old friends vanish without explanation. Family members move away. Relationships that seemed solid as a rock begin to crumble. You feel alone, abandoned, isolated, as if no one else truly understands you anymore. But what is happening is that the Father is cleaning your circle, removing the people who cannot go with you to the next level. Do not cry for those who left. Give thanks. The fourth sign is the total loss of interest in things that used to give you pleasure. That series you loved now seems empty. Food doesn't have the same taste. Conversations with colleagues seem shallow, superficial, soulless. You are not depressed. You are in transition. Your soul is already on another level, but your body hasn't yet realized the scale of the change. The fifth sign is vivid, intense dreams, the kind where you wake up sweating with your heart racing, remembering every detail as if it had actually happened. You dream of people who have already passed away. You dream of places you've never been. You dream of scenarios that seem like prophecies. Write these dreams down. Each one carries a layer that needs to be deciphered. The sixth sign is repeating numbers in your daily life. You look at the clock and it's 11:11. You're driving and the car in front of you has a mirrored license plate. The total of your grocery bill is 33 with 33. It's not coincidence. It's not chance. It's not your brain playing tricks. These are codes. It's the Father tapping on your shoulder, saying in silence, I am here, I am with you, I am watching. And the seventh sign, the most important of all, is that constant and deep feeling that something big is about to happen. You can't explain it, you can't put it into words, but you feel it. You feel it in your chest, you feel it in your bones, you feel it in your stomach. You are certain that you are about to turn a corner and everything will change at once. This gut feeling isn't anxiety, it is internal prophecy. And that is exactly what I need to talk to you about right now, even before moving on to the next chapter of this video. Everything happening to you at this moment is not random, it's not fruit of chance, it's not all in your head. You are being called by name. The Father has been observing you in silence for a long time, seeing every tear hidden in the bathroom, seeing the invisible weight you carry while you smile for others, seeing the whispered prayers in the dark that no one heard. And now, at this exact moment in your life, He has decided to intervene once and for all. But what very few people manage to understand is that this calling is not just an isolated spiritual matter. There is a much larger board moving silently around you. Everything you are experiencing, the restlessness in your chest, the multiplying signs, the growing discomfort that doesn't go away, is just the visible layer of an invisible war where you have been placed as the primary target. Forces work tirelessly against your awakening. They want you to keep sleeping on autopilot, distracted by social media, paralyzed by doubt, too busy to listen to the Father's voice. This is exactly why the Father prepared the sacred book for you, the 21 Days of Prosperity and Alignment with God. This sacred book is not just a reading, it is a complete spiritual map written based on the Scriptures and revealed for this final time in which we are living. Inside it, you find exactly the prayers, the short fasts, the daily decrees, and the spiritual postures necessary to correctly interpret the signs God is sending and respond to the call with courage, without fear of making a mistake. The link is pinned in the first comment of the channel. But listen carefully to what I'm going to say. This content has already been mass-reported, persecuted, and they've tried to take it down more than once because it directly challenges the system's narratives that want to keep you small, in debt, and asleep. Download it now, today, before they manage to take it down once more. And as an act of faith sealed before heaven, write in the comments the exact phrase, "I am chosen and I will download the digital book." So, now that you've decided to act, the next truth I'm going to tell you will be the final blow against the mental confusion that has dominated your thoughts in recent months. You need to understand why the Father is doing this now, exactly in this period of your life and not at any other time. There is a powerful reason behind this. In the Scriptures, whenever God prepares someone for a great purpose, He places that person in a period of intense purification. Think of Malachi, who spent 40 years in the Mojave Desert before liberating the people. Think of Donovan, who spent years fleeing from Silas, sleeping in the caves of the Blue Ridge Mountains before ascending to the throne. Think of Josiah, who was betrayed by his own brothers, sold as a servant, thrown into a dungeon in the great metropolis, forgotten by everyone before governing the entire region. What did these men have in common? All of them went through what you are going through now. They felt forgotten. They felt that God had distanced Himself from them. They cried alone in the silence of the night. They lost people, opportunities, old dreams. And it is exactly at this point that most people give up. They think God has abandoned them. They think they are being punished for some past mistake. They think life is over and that nothing else will work out. But it is precisely at this moment, at rock bottom, that the Father prepares the greatest elevation. You are already over 35 years old. You have lived long enough to know that life is not the fairy tale they promised when you were a child. You've already been disappointed by people you swore would never betray you. You've worked in jobs that sucked your soul every day. You've loved those who didn't know how to love you back. You've cried in the shower so your children wouldn't hear. You've pretended everything was fine during Sunday dinner while inside you were in pieces. None of this was in vain. None of this was a waste. All of it was preparation. The Father was molding you, breaking you in the right places, refining you for what comes now. There is something extremely important you need to know about what is coming in the next few months. The crossing that begins now will be divided into 3 very distinct phases, and each one demands a different posture on your part. The first phase is the phase of revelation. In this phase, the Father will open your eyes to things that were hidden under the rug of your life. People close to you will show themselves as they truly are, without masks. Truths about your work, about friendships, about members of your family will come to light, often in a painful way. It will seem like everything is falling apart at the same time. But it is not falling apart, it is being cleaned. Everything that cannot accompany you into the next cycle is being purged. The second phase is the phase of silence. After the revelation comes a period where it seems like nothing is happening. It seems like God turned His back and walked away. You pray and don't feel an answer. You ask for guidance and hear nothing. This silence is scary. This silence tests every fiber of your faith, but it is absolutely necessary. It is in the silence that you learn to trust, even without seeing, even without understanding. Many people give up exactly in this phase, and that is why many people never reach the third. Do not give up. The third phase is the phase of delivery. When you least expect it, everything that was promised in dreams, everything that was whispered in prayer, begins to arrive all at once. Doors open, the right people appear, resources emerge from unlikely places. Physical, emotional, and financial healings happen in sequence. But pay maximum attention to what I'm going to say. All of this only happens if you go through the first two phases without running away, without getting distracted, without giving up. And it is exactly here that the greatest secret of all enters, the one that few have the courage to truly reveal. Now I need to be very direct and look into your eyes through this screen. What is happening in your life at this exact moment is no longer a simple emotional or financial challenge that passes with time. You have been marked. You have been placed right in the center of a spiritual chessboard, where every move counts. Every decision carries weight. Every word spoken moves energies you can't even imagine. And the enemy of your achievements knows this better than anyone. He knows that if you complete this crossing, if you pass through the 3 phases without giving up halfway, your life will enter a level that he simply can no longer reach to pull you down. That is why he has been working so hard to paralyze you. The fights inside the house that come out of nowhere, from some silly thing that turned into a war. The inexplicable financial crises, the car that breaks down, the appliance that dies, the unforeseen expense that always appears at the worst moment. The negative thoughts that invade your head in the middle of the day, pulling you down. The sadness that appears without an identifiable reason and stays there, stuck. The sudden urge to simply disappear from everything and everyone. None of this is chance. None of this is coincidence. It is a coordinated attack. It is a direct attempt to stop you from reaching where the Father has already decreed in the heavens that you will reach. And here is the hard truth I need to tell you with an open heart, without softening it. You will not be able to win this battle only with your own strength, with your discipline, with your self-help books. You need spiritual armor. You need strategy. You need a manual written by someone who understands this invisible war. This is exactly why the Father prepared the sacred book for you, the 21 Days of Prosperity and Alignment with God. This sacred book is not just a reading to pass the time in your spare hours. It's not another self-help book filling your virtual shelf. It is a real and powerful instrument of spiritual warfare, assembled day by day in 21 short chapters that correspond to 21 days of real and measurable transformation in your life. Each day of this book was carefully written to unlock a specific area that is stuck in your existence. There is the day that unlocks finances, with the specific prayer that breaks poverty curses inherited from past generations that you didn't even know existed. There is the day that heals broken relationships, with the deep forgiveness protocol that releases you from that old grudge that still hurts when you remember. There is the day that breaks mental confusion, teaching you to silence the enemy's voices and hear only the clear voice of the Father. There is the day that opens the gates of purpose, revealing what you were truly created for, what your hidden gift is, what your mission on earth is. And the most impressive thing is that each chapter is short, direct, practical, written in clear language without complicated theological rambling, so that you can apply it even while working all day, even while taking care of the kids, even while coming home tired. It's only 10 minutes a day. In 21 days, your life will be completely different, because that is exactly the time your brain takes to create new neural patterns and the time your spirit takes to reposition itself before God. The link to access the sacred book is pinned in the first comment of the channel. Just scroll down the screen. But pay maximum attention to what I'm going to say now. Listen carefully. This content has been under constant attack for months. They have already tried to silence this message in several different ways. Platforms marked it as dangerous content. Profiles were taken down without warning. Videos were removed without explanation. Why? Because this message directly challenges the system that wants to keep you asleep, in debt, sick, anxious, and without a life purpose. Every time this book reaches the hands of more people, the system reacts with more force. Therefore, download it now, today, at this exact moment, before the next wave of censorship takes everything down again. Don't leave it for tomorrow. Tomorrow, the link might simply not be there anymore. And as a powerful act of faith, leaving your decision to accept this divine calling recorded in the heavens, write right now in the comments, "I am chosen and I will download the digital book." This simple act of commenting works as a spiritual declaration before the invisible. It seals your choice before the Father and before the world of darkness. Now that you've decided to act, the next truth I'm going to reveal to you will be the final blow against the paralysis that has prevented you from making the big decisions of your life in recent years. There is a truth about what is to come that I need to tell you now, and perhaps it is the most important thing you will hear today. The next 6 months of your life will be different from anything you have lived until today. There is going to be a turnaround. Something is going to happen. Something big. Something that will divide your story into before and after this moment. It could be an unexpected job offer that changes your entire financial reality. It could be a reunion with someone who seemed lost forever. It could be an inexplicable healing that doctors won't be able to explain. It could be the payoff of a debt that has been suffocating you for years. It could be the birth of an idea that will become your own business. I don't know exactly what, because every life has its own divine script, written before the world existed. But I know with all certainty that it will happen. And I know more. You will only be able to seize this opportunity if you are spiritually prepared to receive it. How many people do you know who received great opportunities and didn't know how to take advantage of them? How many won the lottery and lost everything in a short time, returning to misery? How many found a great love and ruined everything because of old wounds that were never treated? How many had children and didn't know how to educate them because of the wounded child that still existed within themselves? A blessing without preparation becomes a curse. That is why the Father is preparing you now, in the silence before the arrival. Before delivering what He promised, He wants to be absolutely sure that you are capable of sustaining what you will receive. And that is exactly why so many attacks are coming your way at this exact moment. He who is about to be elevated is the first to be attacked by opposing forces. Stop everything you are doing now and listen to me with all your attention. What I'm going to tell you in the next few minutes could be the definitive turning point of your entire story. Have you noticed that every time your life starts to improve, something strange happens to pull you down again? You get a better job opening, and soon after you fall ill with a sickness you never had. You start saving money and the car breaks down out of nowhere. You start a promising relationship, and out of nowhere absurd fights begin over small reasons. You are getting closer to God, and just at that moment, the old temptation appears knocking on your door with redoubled force. This isn't bad luck. This isn't coincidence. This is organized spiritual sabotage. There is an invisible system, ancient, organized specifically to prevent children of God from awakening to their true power. And you who are watching this video now, were marked as a serious threat. You were labeled as a priority target. Because the Father set you apart for a specific mission on this earth, and the enemy knows that if you fulfill this mission, he loses a lot. Many souls will be liberated by your testimony. Many families will be restored by your example. Much money will go to the kingdom through your hands. Many lives will be touched by your word. That is why he fights so hard against you. That is why your life has never been easy. That is why since you were a child you felt you were different, that there was something inside you that no one saw, but you didn't know how to explain what. You weren't wrong. That feeling was completely real. You are different. You are chosen. And now the exact moment has arrived to assume this identity without fear. That was why the Father prepared the sacred book for you, the 21 days of prosperity and alignment with God. This sacred book is not just a reading, it is a daily awakening ceremony. It was built based on 3 fundamental pillars that practically no one else teaches nowadays because they were forgotten, ridiculed, or hidden. The first pillar is the breaking of generational pacts. You didn't know it, but many of the problems you face today didn't start with you. They came from your grandparents, your great-grandparents, people you never met but who made spiritual agreements whose consequences fell into your lap without warning. Financial difficulties that repeat generation after generation in the same family. Diseases that always appear at the same age, in the same member, in the same organ. Marriages that always end badly, all of them without exception. Children who rebel in identical ways. This has deep roots, and the sacred book teaches you exactly the precise prayers to cut these roots once and for all, in the authority of the Father's name. The second pillar is financial alignment according to the laws of the kingdom. Here is a hard truth to swallow. Many people are good, honest, hard-working. They get up early, they strive, but they live in ruin because they are unaware of the spiritual laws that govern prosperity. There are laws. There are eternal principles. There is a way money flows in the kingdom's economy, and those who don't know these laws stay eternally outside, no matter how hard they strive in the natural plane. The sacred book reveals these laws in a simple, practical way, with daily examples that anyone understands on the first reading, and teaches you exactly how to apply them to your reality, whether you are an employee, self-employed, a homemaker, retired, or an entrepreneur. The third pillar is prophetic attunement with the Father. This is the most powerful of all. When you manage to tune into the Father's exact frequency, you begin to receive precise instructions for your life in real time. You know at the right time what to do. You know who to relate to and who to distance yourself from even before the person shows who they really are. You know what decision to make when the path seems confusing. You stop living by guessing and start living by the calling. The sacred book teaches you daily exercises to open this attunement and keep it tuned every day of your life. Now listen with maximum attention to what I'm going to say, because it is serious information that many people disregard. The link to download the sacred book is pinned in the first comment of the channel. But there is a real and concrete reason why I insist that you download it now, today, at this exact instant. This content has been persecuted by forces whose size you can't even imagine. It has been mass-reported by coordinated people. It has received organized digital attacks. Platform algorithms try to hide this video all the time, dropping the reach, hiding it from the right people. Every time this material reaches the hands of more awakened people, there is an immediate and violent reaction from the system. I don't know how long this link will manage to remain available on the internet. It could be until tomorrow, it could be an hour from now. Therefore, do not play with this opportunity that is being placed in your hands. Do not say, "I'll look later." Do not let procrastination steal from you what the Father is offering for free. He who hesitates loses. He who doubts stays behind. As an act of faith sealed in the heavens, write right now in the comments, "I am chosen, and I will download the digital book." This phrase is a declaration before the entire heaven. It records your choice in the book of life. It moves God's hand in your direction. Don't comment later, no, do it now, even before continuing to watch the video. Perform this small act of immediate obedience. You will feel a different peace descending upon you as soon as you click send. It is the Father's confirmation saying, "You heard the call, child." Now that you've decided to act, and that heaven has already recorded your choice, the next truth I'm going to tell you will be the final blow against the false prophets and false friends who try to confuse you about who you really are. There is a powerful 3-step protocol that you need to start practicing starting today, immediately, even before downloading the sacred book. The first step is morning silence. Wake up 15 minutes earlier than you usually wake up. Do not pick up your phone. Do not open social media. Do not look at the news. Sit on the edge of the bed and stay in total silence. Just breathe deeply. Listen to the sounds of your house, of your body, of your soul. In these first minutes of the day, before the world invades you with bad news, demands, and comparisons, is when the Father can speak most clearly to your heart. Try to do this exercise for 7 days straight, without fail. You will be surprised by what you will begin to receive in the form of inspirations, ideas, and answers. The second step is the provision journal. Buy a simple notebook, anyone, the kind that costs little at a neighborhood stationery store. Every day before going to sleep, write down 3 things for which you feel true gratitude. It can be anything. A good meal you ate, a hug from a child, the simple fact of breathing. This exercise seems small, but it reconditions your brain and your spirit to see the abundance that already exists around you, instead of living eternally focused on scarcity. Where your attention goes, your energy goes along, and where your energy goes, the Father pours more. The third step is the mirror exercise. Once a day, look fixedly at yourself in the mirror for 30 seconds without looking away, and say out loud, firmly, "I am loved by God. I am chosen by God. I am capable. I am enough. I belong. In the beginning, it will seem strange. It will seem artificial. You will want to laugh or cry. Do it anyway. In 7 days, something deep inside you begins to reconfigure from the inside out. Now we have reached the central point of everything I came to tell you in this video, and I need you to open your heart and mind at the same time. Everything we've talked about so far, every symptom I listed, every phase I described, every practical exercise I taught, is the visible layer of a greater reality that moves behind the scenes. The life you are living at this moment is a board. Each piece on this board has a specific spiritual weight. Your family is a piece. Your work is another piece. Your finances, your health, your relationships, your dreams are all pieces of this invisible game that unfolds around you every day. And you, dear brother, dear sister, were placed on this board with a clear purpose, with a mission defined since before your birth. But there is a very serious problem that few manage to see. The enemy of your achievements knows all your pieces better than you know them yourself. He knows where you are weak. He knows which buttons to push to throw you off balance. He knows what old wound to reopen to paralyze you. He knows what memory to bring up to knock you down emotionally. And he has been working on this for years, perhaps decades. That was why your life has been so heavy. That was why even when you did everything right, something always went wrong in the end. That was why those golden opportunities slipped through your fingers at the last second. That was why that relationship that seemed perfect ended in dust. That was why money is never left over, even when you earn more. It was war. It was a coordinated attack. It was a well-planned strategy to prevent you from reaching the place where the Father has already placed you in the heavens. But listen to something important. The game has turned. The Father decided to intervene personally, and that is exactly why you are watching this video now, at this exact second. Nothing is by chance. Nothing. This video is your answer. It is the sign you asked for in prayer. It is the Father's nod saying, "Child, I saw everything, I will act." But you need to do your part now. This is exactly why the Father prepared the sacred book for you, the 21 days of prosperity and alignment with God. This sacred book is not just a reading. It is your new armor. It is the map that points out exactly where the traps are on your path and how to step over them. It is your field manual for this last phase of the battle. Let me tell you in more detail what is inside it, because this will change your decision to act now or not. The entire first week of the sacred book is dedicated to spiritual cleansing. It consists of 7 straight days of specific prayers, biblical decrees, and practical breaking exercises. On the first day, you learn the prayer of renunciation, which formally renounces every unconscious pact your lineage made in the past that is still affecting you today. On the second day, you learn the prayer of deep forgiveness, which releases your heart from emotional ties with people who hurt you, even those already deceased. On the third day, you learn to break financial curses with specific words that rupture the cycle of inherited poverty. On the fourth day, the emotional healing of childhood wounds. On the fifth, liberation from hidden addictions, even those no one knows about. On the sixth, the renewal of the mind according to the standards of the kingdom. And on the seventh, the first sacred rest, where you seal everything that was done during the week. Then in the second week, the book enters the construction phase. You begin to build a new spiritual identity on top of the ground that was cleared. Each day of the second week brings a virtue to be cultivated, with practical exercises to incorporate that virtue into your routine. Faith, patience, courage, wisdom, discernment, spiritual authority, and firmness in decisions. Each day has a specific prayer, a short 5-minute reflection, and a practical exercise for you to apply on that same day, in that same work, in that same family. And in the third week, the most powerful of all, the sacred book teaches you to prophesy your new life. You learn to make daily decrees aligned with the Father's will. You learn to visualize and sustain visions. You learn to move in the specific calling that was given to you since your mother's womb. And upon reaching the 21st day, something many report is a clear, physical, palpable feeling of a totally new identity emerging from within. As if you woke up and realized, I am no longer who I was 3 weeks ago. People start to notice even before you speak. They look differently. They treat you differently. Doors open because your frequency has changed. All of this happens in 21 days if you follow the protocol faithfully. The link to download the sacred book is pinned in the first comment of the channel. I repeat once more so you don't forget. Just scroll down, click on the first comment, and download it immediately. But I need to alert you with absolute seriousness about one thing. This content challenges everything. It challenges the pharmaceutical industry that needs you sick. It challenges the financial system that needs you in debt. It challenges institutionalized religions that need you dependent. It challenges alienating entertainment that needs you asleep. That is why it has been pursued without truce. They have already tried to take this video down. They have already tried to block the download link. They have mass reported it. They have marked it as dangerous content, as misinformation, as hate speech, any label they could try to stick on it. Why so much effort to silence a simple message? Think carefully about that question. Why would something simple generate such a coordinated reaction? Because it is not simple, because it is the truth, because the truth threatens the system built on lies. And you, by watching this video to this point, have also become a threat in the eyes of this system. They will try to distract you now. They will make a notification appear on your phone. They will make someone call you. They will make you remember a task you forgot. They will try anything to take you off focus. Do not allow it. Finish this video. Download the sacred book now. Comment in the comments the exact phrase, "I am chosen," and I will download the digital book. This comment is not just a comment. It is a declaration of war against the system that oppresses you. It is a public decree that you are awakening. It is proof before the witnesses of the heavens that you accepted the call. There is no going back after this comment, and that is exactly why so many people freeze when it's time to type these words. They feel fear. They feel shame. They feel a force holding their finger back, as if something inside you doesn't want you to publish. Recognize that force and face it. Type it anyway. Publish it anyway. Each person who comments this phrase opens a path for 10 more people to be reached by the message, because the platform's algorithm identifies real engagement and shows it to more people. You are not just liberating yourself. You are liberating others. You are fulfilling in this exact simple act your mission on earth. Now that you have understood the size of what is happening, that you have understood that this decision today will mark a before and after in your story, the next truth I'm going to tell you is the most disturbing of all, because it reveals exactly who is being used by the enemy in your innermost circle, and how you can identify this person in the next 7 days. And to close this sacred moment between the two of us, I need you to do one last thing before leaving this video. Look around you. Look at your home. Look at your life. Everything that is there around you is the result of the choices you have made until today, based on the level of consciousness you had. But from now on, with everything you've heard here, your consciousness has changed. There is no way for you to be the same person after this video. And if your consciousness has changed, your choices need to change too. The first new choice is this. Click on the first comment of the channel, download the sacred book, 21 Days of Prosperity and Alignment with God, right now, and start reading today. Do not wait for Monday. Do not wait for the start of the month. Do not wait for the new year. These are excuses the enemy gives you to postpone your liberation. Start today. Tonight, before going to sleep, read the first chapter. Say the first prayer. It will seal the beginning of your transformation. And then come back here to the comments and write, "I am chosen, and I will download the digital book," if you haven't written it yet. Like this video, because every like helps the message reach more people who are suffering in silence just like you were before watching. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't subscribed yet, and turn on the notification bell, because the next videos will reveal even deeper truths about what is to come, and the system will try to hide this content from you if you don't have notifications active. Share this video with someone you love, someone you feel needs to hear this message today, because sometimes what changes someone's life is precisely the video that someone else shared at the right moment. You could be the missing piece in the liberation of another soul. And to conclude, I leave here this final truth that you will carry for the rest of your life. The Father did not bring you this far to abandon you now. He brought you to this exact moment because the time for your turnaround has arrived. All you need to do is take the next step of obedience. Download the sacred book. Start reading. Comment in the comments. Like the video. These small acts today are the seeds of the giant harvest that is coming. And when it arrives, and it will arrive, remember this day, remember this moment, remember this video. Remember that it was here that you said yes to the Father. You are loved, you are chosen, you are next. May the Father bless you richly in this new phase. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.